Welcome, my name is Cami, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the proper ways of measuring. The recipe I'm going to be preparing is Oreo cupcakes. When you use proper measuring techniques that I'll be showing you today, it's very important because you want to make sure that your end result is very good. It's more efficient to use a scale and weigh your ingredients than to use measuring cups and spoons. However, most home kitchens don't have food scales, so I will be showing you using measuring cups and spoons. First, we will look at the recipe to see what we need and how much we need. The recipe calls for 1 1/6 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 3/4 teaspoons baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 cup of light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, and 3/4 cup of buttermilk. It helps you to measure out all the ingredients before you start mixing them. I'm going to be measuring out all my dry ingredients first. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. When measuring dry ingredients, it's helpful to fill the measuring cup over the top, then take the leavener or knife if you don't have a leveler and smooth out all the extra. Also calls for 3/4 cup of buttermilk. When you measure a liquid, you want to make sure that you set the measuring cup on a flat surface and get at eye level so that you can get the proper measurement. If your recipe calls for a sticky ingredient like peanut butter or honey, you can use a Wonder Cup to get a proper measurement. Once you have sifted all of your dry ingredients together, the recipe wants you to beat the butter in a mixing bowl until smooth. A helpful tip for when measuring out brown sugar is you want to make sure that it's packed down so that you can get the exact measurement. Now you want to gradually add in the brown sugar while you're beating the eggs. Once you've added the vanilla and the eggs, you want to add your sifted flour mixture and the buttermilk, alternating between each. Once your batter is mixed, we're going to add it into our cupcake liners. When you put the batter into the cupcake mixers, you can either use an ice cream scoop or simply just a spoon. While your cupcakes are baking, you can prepare the whipped cream. Using the tips I've taught you, measure out 1 cup of whipping cream, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix them all together until they form a stiff peak. The recipe also calls for crushed Oreos so that you can blend it in with your icing. The way that I'm going to do this is to put 5 Oreos into a plastic baggie, zip it up, and just break them until they're completely crushed. This is what your finished Oreos should look like. You want to make sure that you don't have any big pieces so that when you pipe your icing, it doesn't get stuck. Once your icing has formed a stiff peak, you're going to mix in the Oreos. Do this by taking a spatula and gently folding them in together. When you get ready to pipe your icing, you can either put your icing into a pastry piping bag, or you can take a Ziploc bag like this and put it in there. Once your cupcakes have been in the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes, you can check to see if they're done by taking a toothpick, sticking it in the middle of the cupcake, and then pulling it out to see if there's anything left on it. If there's nothing left on it, it means that the cupcakes are done. If there's something that's still left on it, they're not done. Once your cupcakes are completely cooled, take your icing Push it down to a corner that you've cut and go in a slow motion, putting pressure. Looks like we got an Oreo stuck.
Really good.
I don't know what happened.
We're just gonna keep trying even though accidents happen.
Just like clean. You want to make sure you get it all the way down in the corner. Is it coming out? Okay, after you've put the icing on, you gotta give it a good taste. As you can see, there's no tunneling, so it has a good crumb on the inside.
Even the dog wants some.
It's very moist, and the icing is very
Creamy.
good.
Goodbye. This is also a good way to get your anger out. Wow, that's amazing. Now what?
What?
And you have accidents, but that's okay. As long as it gets on the cupcake, it's completely fine. Bye.